lot of trucks out today. I should have filmed this in the cemetery. It's a lot more quieter. Hi, welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Jill, and today we're going to discuss a comment that I got on one of my videos in regards to, is it cheaper to just go ahead and just replace the panels or just buy a whole new car when it comes to the squared off quarter panels. So let's explore that option, shall we? I used to work at a body shop. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. A little bit of background on me. I have about 5-6 years in a body shop business in estimating. I have not worked on the car physically in shops. I am the one that, if you get into a wreck, you come see me and I tell you how much it's going to be to fix your car. That is my experience in the body shop. Now, that kind of gives me an advantage to help you guys of what to expect on, you know, body work of cars, or how much it's going to cost to change out panels from one thing to another, you know, things like that. That kind of gives me the edge over everybody else, unless, you know, they have a body shop. So let's explore the 3 kinds of paint and the process of painting those 3 types of paint. We are going to exclude the candy colors and the specialized paint jobs for, you know, ombres and stuff like that. That's not even in this ballpark. So that's a specialized field. Dealerships don't do that. Your best colors to panel paint without a blend, and I'll explain all this, are the blacks and the whites. They have to be solid colors, means no metallics, no pearls, none of that. Black is a lot more forgiving because it is so dark. The shadow black does have a little bit of metallic in it. If you really look at it, it does have a glitz to it. That's why I brought this particular one here, because we will be having the hood, which is fiberglass painted to match the vehicle. Now, mind you, different materials will take the paint differently, whether or not it's a solid or not. It's just the way it is. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. Now, metallics such as your carbonized gray, your eruption green, your race red, your iconic silver, things like that, those are metallics. Silver is not really a color. Silver is basically nothing but flakes, and that's a little bit trickier to paint. When you have silver on anything, it doesn't matter if it's a car, a truck, whatever. If it's not done right, if you don't have a very good painter, or a painter who's not confident in spraying heavy metallics like silver, it's going to show. I am fortunate enough to have a painter who is absolutely wonderful, and I absolutely love that guy for his abilities to paint anything, because he is spot on. Silvers tend to model, and what modeling means, it kind of gets like a stripy look to it, kind of like a zebra. Now, you don't want that. So if you have that, you're going to have to make them reshoot it. So silvers are a pain in the butt to paint. So just keep that in mind when you have a silver Bronco or a silver truck or even a silver car and you want to get, you know, a panel done. You better find a good painter that knows what he's doing. And make sure that, you know, you're able to go up to the body shop and say, hey, look, I would like to see some of your work to make sure I'm picking a good shop, because I would like to bring my car here. Make sure that you do that. Always do your footwork before you bring it into a shop. Now, if it's a car accident, then that's a whole other story, and that's a different video. Now, your 3-stage paints are like your pearls, and you can have a little bit metallics in there with the pearls, and that would make it a 3-stage, or your tinted clear coat will make it a 3-stage. But a 3-stage is exactly that. You have a base color. It's usually going to be white, gray, or black. It's going to be your base color, followed by your tinted color, which is the actual color of the car that we're shooting. Say this is a 3-stage black, so we should paint it with a black base, and then the black color, and then a clear. The color part of it is going to have your pearls and stuff like that. So it has to go into the booth 3 times. It's a longer process, and it takes a little bit to get that done, which is why the 3 stages are more expensive. If you've ever noticed, even when you build a car on the dealer website, we'll say, hey, let's go ahead and do cyber orange and it's an extra $295. That is the reason why, because pearls are not cheap. Those little additive thingies are not cheap. That's what you're paying for. Now, when it comes to panel painting in general, it doesn't matter if it's a solid, a metallic, or 3-stage. They have to edge it. When you lift up the hood or open the door, you don't see like the bare metal or the primer or whatever is on there. A lot of misconception that a lot of people just have with these vehicles, or any vehicle in general. Body panels do not come painted from factory. They just don't. They come black, but it's like a specialized coating to keep them from being corroded on the way to the dealership or to the shop in question. So they don't come colored. They do come like a matte black, but that's just a coating. That's not the actual paint. And there's body work that has to be done to accept the paint. It's all about the prep work, because if you don't have proper prep work, your paint job's gonna look like crap. So just keep that in mind. Another thing I want to try and explain as bluntly as possible, because a lot of people that I've dealt with in the body shop for 5 years have a hard time grasping of, why does my bumper not match my fenders or my quarters? Well, it never will. It will never, ever match your fenders or your quarters. And here's why. Your bumpers, if you have a car or a truck with plastic bumpers, not necessarily this one because it's a modular bumper, that's irrelevant. But if we go to the back, and I'm going to bring you back there, there's a strip right here and this little piece right here that is plastic. Sometimes there might be a color variance in this, and that's normal, because it doesn't matter what color it is, what car it is, what manufacturer made it, it doesn't matter. They're not always going to be, you know, spot on perfect, because the plastic will always take the paint differently than the metals. There's no way around it. Now, I want to discuss the blends. So basically the process. So say that you bought these panels, the squared off panels for the car, and you're like, here, paint these for me. Now, depending on the color of your Bronco and what color you want those panels, if you want a Harlequin Bronco, hey, that'd be cool. If you want the fenders to be painted and the quarters to be painted the body color of your vehicle, then, and if you want to install it, that's one thing. If you want them to install it, that's another thing. If you install it, you better let those panels cure for about 60 to 90 days before you really handle it, because that's going to be the time it takes for the paint to cure and cure hard. If you want them to install it, they will baby it, but then you cannot wash it heavily, like with a pressure washer, a car wash, like the automated car wash, or the drive-through car wash with the wand. You can't do that. You have to hand wash it and baby it for 60 to 90 days for that paint to cure. That's just the way it is. To have a body shop, if you bring them a panel and say, hey, can you just go ahead and put it on the car when you're done painting it, you're going to be charged the disassembly time, whatever needs to come off, which will be this, the liner, the old fender, and whatever in the front needs to be taken off. And you're going to have, if you want new badges, you're going to be charged for that. It's labor intensive. If you watch any of our videos, you will see we're going to be going through this entire process later on when we get the panels painted. But that's what a body shop's going to do. So what the later video of us switching these out, minus the paint, because we're not going to paint, I'm going to have a painter do that. Everything that we're going to do as far as switching these panels out is no different than what the body shop is going to do. And I'll be supervising, of course. Now, when you have colors such as the cyber orange, the velocity blue, the race red, or not race, well, yeah, race red and rapid red, eruption green, the silvers, any of those, minus your solids like the blacks and the white, your shadow black and Oxford white. Every other color after that, you're gonna have to blend. Now, a blend is where, same thing, if the panel's on the car, you blend it this way. Once the panel is painted separately and put on the car, they'll scuff this and paint it, you know, this way anyway. So what a blend is we detrim the panel. We'll take this, and this off, take it all off. We'll spray this, we feather, we dust the color only oh so far into the panel, and then we clear coat the entire panel. That way you don't see a variance. And when you step back, when you're like this, you're like, damn, that looks good, it matches. Instead of, wow, how come this is pink and that's red, type of thing, you know what I mean? So that's why we blend. And there's all the colors I just mentioned, unless it's like a black or an Oxford white or solid white of any kind, you have to blend it. You have to. Otherwise it's gonna look like crap if you don't. So that's the blend part of it. Now, reds are the more expensive colors. So if you have a red Bronco, you're gonna get charged a little bit more in paint. Now, if it's a red Pearl, you're gonna be charged a little bit more for paint. So just keep that in mind when you go to a body shop. Typical body shops in Florida, the ones that I worked at, and there's been a few of those, they charge anywhere between $400 to $600 per body panel to be painted. That doesn't include the blend, that does not include the disassembly of anything. It is per panel. So if I bring my painter a fender, I can expect to spend anywhere between $400 to $600 just for that fender to be painted. That doesn't include install or anything. So just keep that in mind for the baseline. Now, as far as the panel prices of the squared ones, I don't have any prices for the squared ones yet. I am working on, as we are filming, getting the prices of the 2 fenders and the 2 quarter panels. That way at least you guys have some kind of idea about how much these panels cost. Everything I give you in this video is going to be minimal. There will always be additional cost when you go into a body shop and say, hey, look, I need this done. Expect it to go up and be happy when it doesn't, you know, when it goes down. There are times, depending if they can get the paint, if it's not on back order, because yes, paint can go on back order. If they can get the paint, if it's not a bad batch, because we've had a series of bad batches before at a dealership that I worked at, and we had to just keep running the car through. It happens, you know, it's an imperfect world that we live in. If we can control everything, we would, trust me. There's going to be additional cost added, so just keep that in mind. So this video is a baseline, bare minimum of what to expect. It will go up. Let's explore the color variants. Now, for those of you women watching my channel, you remember the movie and the book called 50 Shades of Grey. This is not that kind of video, but it is a legit thing. There are 50 shades of every color. No matter if it's white, black, purple, green, yellow, whatever, there's more than one shade. So if you have a pearl white, and I can't remember the white that we always did at Ford, but it had 2 variants. It was a bright white variant, and there's a yellowish creamy color variant. So when we had to replace the hood on Explorers, I would always have to ask the customer, hey, I need to see your car because I need to know what variant it is before I stick a bright white hood on a cream colored car, or vice versa. And that's happened before. So these colors, they do have color variants. Black, not so much, because black is black. It's not even a color. It's an absorption of all colors, and technically white isn't a color because it's a reflective of all colors. So a little bit of art school in there for you. Now, when you have like yellows and reds and stuff like that, reds are a pain in the butt to match because it is one of the harder colors to paint. That's where the blend comes in. But yeah, they have a lot of variants. So what a painter will do, they'll spray out a card, or they'll get their chip card out and they'll match it, and they'll do as close as possible. And if you got a really good painter, he'll get it dead on or damn close. If you got one that does then like I said, always do your footwork and go and check out so-and-so's paint job on their cards. And a good body shop, if they're reputable, will have no problem having you, look at the paint jobs that they've done, whether it be for out-of-pocket customers where you just pay for it yourself, or if it's through an insurance job. A good body shop should allow you to go look at what they're working on and how it's been painted and whether or not you like the results, and maybe even talk to the painter who even painted it. So just keep that in mind if you want to do this route. It's really up to you whether or not you want to paint your panels, or have them painted rather, or just wait until the body style comes out and just trade this one in and just go get the other one. It's really up to you. There are two types of paints that the body shop will use. Not one body shop will use two types. One body shop will use one type and another body shop will use the other type. So just let me clear that up. The one dealership I worked at used a water solvent, or a water-based paint. So it's mixed with water, it's a lot gentler for the environment, it's not as harsh on the lungs, and it's a lot nicer of a product to use. And it's easier to spray, and you can match the colors dead on. A solvent-based product is a little bit more harsh to deal with. A solvent-based paint is a little bit harder to deal with. It's very smelly when you get in there and spray it, and it's harder on the lungs, just FYI. And it's just harder to get the colors, for me, I've noticed, for the painters to get the colors to match dead on. So just ask them, hey, do you spray water-based or solvent-based? And that kind of gives you an idea. So just keep that in mind. It's just, I'm trying to throw out things that, the person off the street wouldn't think of to ask. And I've been there. I've been on the receiving end where I didn't know anything about a body shop. I didn't know anything about repairing cars. I didn't know anything about the paint process. I didn't know any of the stuff that I'm telling you now. I've been on that side. Now that I'm on the other side of the fence, I'm trying to share that knowledge with you. That way you're better informed when you walk into a body shop. You know what the hell you're going to expect. So my camera overheated and it shut off, so here we go again, take two. I have been on the receiving end of having a car in the shop and getting it repaired, not knowing anything about the paint, the type of paint, the process, any of that stuff. I've been there, so I've been in your guys' shoes. That being said, being on the other side of the fence and having the knowledge that I know now, I am more than willing to share what this side is, and that's what this video is about. So if you guys have any questions in regards to paint, you can email me at 151garage@gmail.com, and I will answer you there, or you can hit me up on a DM at dogs151garage on Instagram. That is my Instagram. It's the sister one for this channel. The other thing I want to point out, and I'll put a picture of it, is where to find your paint code, because it is on every vehicle, unless you don't have a VIN sticker. It should be on every vehicle. I will put a picture of where ours is at on the VIN number, and it's not going to be up on the dash. It will be the sticker that's by your door down in this area, okay? Just always expect your estimate from your body shop, whoever writes it, it's gonna be going up. They'll write it low for a reason, and then they'll make it go higher. That's just the way they are. So just keep that in mind when you walk into a shop. If you get like a $2,000 estimate, it's probably gonna be anywhere between 25 to 3 grand, just FYI. So expect to pay more, but if it stays the same, be happy about it. If it comes in lower, really be happy about it. That should conclude this video. If you found it helpful, let me know. If you have questions, hit me up either on the email or my Instagram. You can DM me there, that's fine. I'm very knowledgeable on the body shop side of things. Mechanical, My husband, Sean, he knows more about that. So if you have questions, let me know. If you want to see a video, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see a video of, hey, I got into an accident, what do I do? How do I go about doing this? Because I get that question all the time when I was at the body shop. I got into an accident, what are the steps I need to take? If you want to see a video about that, hit me up in the comments and let me know, and I will be glad to do a video about that. It's going to be a very detailed video, so feel free to pause the video and take notes and whatever you need to do to remember it. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget to check out our website for our merch. We do have some more merchandise up on the site, and for 10% off on any kind of bring your own device rails from Buck Your Bronco, you want to check out their site at buckyourBronco.com and use our code 1, the word 51, and you'll get 10% off your purchase, okay? I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.